Welcome back. You're watching Money, Money, Money. Hemant Rustagi of WISEINVEST Advisors is our guest this week, and it's time now to answer some of the queries which have been sent in by our viewers. So joining us first up is Raghunath KR, who calls in from Bangalore. Hi sir, how can we help you?
Hi, this is Raghunath. I have made ELSs and NPS contributions for the current financial year. I need your advice on investments on mutual funds in small cap and mid cap. Apart from this, will it make sense to enter equity market through sector-oriented funds like banking and financial services and technology funds instead of picking up direct stocks through SIP routes?
All right, Hemant, what's the advice for him?
Well, I think I would say it's a great idea to include equity in the portfolio, because what it does is, we know that it is a great asset class. In the long term, it allows you to enhance your overall portfolio return. But I think there are a couple of things that one has to keep in mind while investing in equity. One, that we should not forget that equity as an asset class is aggressive. So we don't have to really make your portfolio very, very aggressive by looking at investing in sector fund or thematic fund. The second is also important to maintain the discipline of investing, have a clear term time horizon in mind, and then start investing. Another important thing I think everyone who's looking at investing in equity to understand is that if you're investing directly into equity, you need to know which stock to buy, when to sell. You must keep an eye on what's happening in the domestic market, international markets, which obviously is not possible for every investor to do it. So to my mind, I think investing through mutual fund is definitely a better option, because you have full-time professional fund manager managing their money. Since it's intended to invest in some aggressive fund, like I said, equity as an asset class is aggressive. You don't have to make your portfolio very aggressive. So my advice would be that he should look at, well-diversified multi-cap fund like you have Franklin India Prima Plus Fund, or Kotak Select Focus Fund, or ICICI Discovery Fund. These are the funds that he can look at. But if he still wants to invest in these funds, because if you're looking at, because also talked about large cap and mid cap fund. So my view always is that when you start investing, look at multi-cap, because the fund manager has the flexibility to move money from large cap to mid cap depending on the kind of potential he sees in future. But if he still wants to invest in these sector or thematic fund, then my recommendation would be that in the infrastructure space, you can look at Canara Robeco infrastructure fund. In IT and other services, recommendation is that you can look at ICICI export and other services fund. In the banking, I would say Birla Banking and Financial Services Fund. So these are funds which have been doing very well in the category. You can look at that. But I will again, re-emphasize on the fact that he should begin with well-diversified fund. Be familiar with what are the risks attendant to when you invest in equities. Understand that, and then make your portfolio aggressive by all means. But have exposure to these aggressive fund in the smaller proportion and not invest sizable money of the portfolio.
All right, Mr. Raghunath, I hope that answers your query. And with that, we have our next guest through to us. Rajesh Motiramani calls in from Surat. Hi, sir. What's your question?
Can you please tell me that how much quantity of gold an individual single man / woman, married woman or child can possess, which is legally permissible under the existing Income Tax Act, read with the erstwhile Wealth Tax Act?
Okay, I really don't think there is a limit. Is there, Hemant?
No, Sumana, there is no limit on how much you can invest in gold. But let's not forget that over the last few years, you see investors started investing in paper gold, what we call is a gold ETF. So they become very much a part of your, integral part of your portfolio. Yes, a different thing, the gold has not done well, so maybe investors are having a rethink on that. But as you rightly said, there is no limit. You can invest as much as you want in gold in any form. You can buy jewelry, you can buy biscuits, you can buy coins, you can invest in paper gold, as long as you're buying it from legitimate means, as long as you can prove that.
But of course.
Okay, so there is no limit for investing in gold.
All right, Mr. Motiramani, you can buy gold as much as you like, but like Hemant said, prices are a little bit depressed, so you may actually want to reconsider your allocation to it. Hemant, thanks very much for joining in, not just for advising our viewers, but also for educating us on how to maximize post-tax returns from mutual funds. And with that, it's time for us to take a very quick break. Still ahead is Documents Decoded. You'll want to watch that one, so stay tuned.